Welcome back to Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Sam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, the Maker Exchange, on Facebook.
Welcome back to the Lovely Lab. Alright guys, I'm on a quick break from class, and I just was going to go ahead and turn the camera on while I do a little bit of work on my sewing journal. Well, this sewing journal, it's not for me because I don't sew that much right now. And then I wanted to share with you some things that I found that I could use in this. But before I do that, let me just share with y'all a quick little, if you don't, if you haven't already come across this idea, I took a cereal box, a tall one. I sent my husband to the store to get cereal. No, actually, I didn't even send him to the store to get cereal. He was going to the store for something else for himself, some cookies or something. And he came back with a box of cereal for Josh. Josh eats marshmallow Fruit Loops. These were just regular Fruit Loops. And it was the family size, which, as you know, when you have one kid in the house, family size cereal is not a good idea because it's just hard to kind of keep it from going stale before you get to the bottom of it. Nevertheless, so he bought this family size box of cereal, and it was actually a little taller than this. So let me show you how long this box is. So this is 12 inches, so it's probably, there's another inch left on here. It was probably 14 inches tall. That's how big the family size box was. So I took the front cover and the back cover and the side, I opened up the box. There's a way to open it up, and there's a little seal along the side that if you slide your finger down through the side of it, it's kind of like right around here, you can basically open the box up so that it's opened up kind of like a book, and it's easier to access the panels. So anyways, you probably already know that, but if you didn't, there you go. So I just took it, so this is the front or the back of the box, and then I just scored it so that I could create a journal cover from it, or a folio. I have yet to make a folio, but I'm working on that. I think I want to make one for one of Josh's good friends that he went to preschool with. They're still friends. She's a girl. Her name is Ella, and she's just a sweet thing. Anyhow, I digress. So I'm thinking about making one for her. Now, I covered this with gesso. It's homemade gesso, by the way, because cereal boxes tend to have something like a thin coating on them, and it kind of makes it hard for glue to stick to it. So I wanted to make it collage on top of it, or adhere some paper down to it. So I actually got two of them out of that. So this one just is simply a simple fold, if you will, like that. And this one has more of a, the journal that I put inside, or the folio, can be a little bit thicker because of how it is. I don't even know the terms. I really don't. Anyways, the spine is wider, so y'all know what I'm trying to say. And then this is exactly how long it was. So what I did was I took one side and I cut that down. I adjusted everything, cut one side down, and I intend to make little notepads, and I'll stick this inside one of the folios. So I just scored it, folded it over, and did the same for this one. They're two different sides, two different lengths, and I'll see what I can make with those. So those are for that. And then I'll probably do the same with this, or I may make it like something like a pad that opens up like this, or a matchbook pad, something to that nature. But I just wanted to share that little bit with you. And as far as the homemade gesso, I didn't come up with a recipe. There's plenty of recipes on YouTube. I don't remember whose recipe I used. Google it, or put it in the homemade gesso, DIY gesso, in the search bar, and you'll come up with quite a few different recipes. The one I used was basically Elmer's glue, or school glue, water, and baby powder. I think there's ones with cornstarch, but that's what I had on hand, and that's what I used. And then I added a little bit of white acrylic paint to it so that it could be a little bit more opaque. All right, so moving right along from that, now for the sewing journal, let me show you where I'm at with that. All right, so I think I've added some more pages in here. Yeah, added some trim. I'm not sure if I showed that on the last one. I inked a few of the pages with stencil, and I really just don't feel like pulling those out today, so we'll see how far I get with that. Did a little bit of inking with those. Ink there. Yeah, I think I did quite a bit of inking, but I did find another way that I want to add some ink to a few pages, so I have to see if there's any blank ones in here, and then I'll show you guys that. If not, you'll see it on another video. I just took some scrap paper, folded it up. I've got to stitch this, so when I start stitching in here, I'm going to put stitching down the side of that. It was actually wider than this, and I cut it in half. Alright, so here's some of the inking technique that I did with a brush, with the blending brush, actually. And it was the Hampton Art acid-free ink. And that came out really good, I think. It was 2 different colors, by the way. And I didn't even coordinate that to go with this, but it just happens to go. And then there's a little pretty little purple color. This will be covered up with some type of die cut or something. As well as that. Probably a pocket there. And then, so again, I have some stitching that I've got to do. And then I created this. I'm going to stitch down the side and then add this to the center of this, actually down to the bottom. And I'll put tags in that. So I think I didn't show you guys this one, but this is just a privacy envelope from junk mail, something I got in the mail. Didn't need the envelope. And so that's going in there. And I'll show you where I got this tape measuring tape print from. It was free. Let me just say that. See, isn't that pretty how that comes together there? I thought that was so pretty. So I think, and then, you know, on the opposite side you have the similar inking and what have you. So that's how far I got with that. I have to do some more stitching. And so let me show you what I do have. Excuse me. I have printed off some ephemera to use in this thing. Alright, so here's some tags. I think I already cut out some tags for that. Did I? Yes, I think so. Yeah. So I have some ephemera here that I'll be using. That's what I'll be using today. Now, I printed this off on cardstock, and this is from ArtyMaze's Freebies. I'm going to drop a link down to her website, to the page where her freebies are. I don't know if you're familiar with ArtyMaze. If you are in the paper crafting or journaling world, you probably have heard the name. If not, I don't know where you've been. Have you been on YouTube lately? By the way, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the additional crafty uploads. Anyway, so I happened to, I was watching one of her videos, and she had something out that she was giving away as a thank you to her subscribers, and I'm a subscriber, so I went on ahead to the website, and then I noticed that she had other things, and I just was like, oh, and she had quite a bit of sewing related, vintage and sewing inspired digitals. So I'm going to go ahead and I went on ahead and downloaded them. I've already cut those out and inked them. And then here is I've cut out a couple of these, the measuring tape. And I'm not sure if you got the tickets and the banner flags, but the colors on the screen, I'm sure your printers may come out with a better, your color may be a little bit more saturated from your printers, but I think this came out very well. Let me just see what it's looking like on here. Yeah, I think it came out very pretty. So I have cut out the ones that I like for now. I punched out a few of the buttons. and I think one was rolling around here. Here we go. So what I did was I just cut out some cardstock, you know, regular, no, cereal box. Punched out a couple circles of cereal box, and these actually happen to be exactly, I think it's 1 inch and a quarter. Is it 1 inch and a quarter? No, it's 1 inch. This is the 1 inch punch. So when I printed this out, and I don't think it wasn't fit to size on the printer settings. It was exactly 1 inch. So this button is perfect for the sewing journal as a closure. Remember I asked you guys, I said, does anybody know what type of closure I should use on this? Well, guess what? ArtyMaze just helped me out. Because I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole in here using, and hopefully this, the crocodile will punch through it. I'm sure it will punch through that, and yeah. Yeah, I know I ain't got time to be fiddling around with stuff like that, but of course I will make time. Let me slide this back. Josh had asked me, what is that for? And when I first got it, I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. Well, guess what? We're finding out now. How can I? Well, I'm gonna have to do it like this, so I can see. There we go. I may need a bigger punch. No, I want to go small. Oh, that went through with ease. Go figure. All right, let's see if we can get this brad to go through. And then that will allow me to use this as a tie closure. Perfect! Hey, y'all, look. Wonderful idea. Thanks, Miss ArtyMaze. That's not even her name. I forgot her name, y'all. I'm sure she don't mind. I'm sure she gets called that all the time. Just like I get called Livie's. My first name is not Livie's. That's my daughter's name. But I don't mind being called that because the reason I named it Livie's Lovelies was to keep her name alive. So if that means I have to be called Livie's, I'm more than happy to take on. I'll respond to it, you know. Just make sure you write fam on my checks though, okay? All right, so let's see what else we can get done in this journal before I pull the kid back into the classroom, which, you know, he don't want to be in here, especially not, well, excuse me, y'all. That's just wallpaper, not wallpaper. It's contact paper on cardstock. Let's see. All right, so we've got that. I probably should have went on ahead and punched a hole on that, but who knows? Maybe I'll get inspired to do something different. All right, so let me move that off to the side. And I think I've cut out everything that I wanted to cut out from here for now. Let's see about these tags. Let's see if these will fit. I'm sure they will fit inside the ones that I made. It might be too thin. We'll have to see. They could stand to be a little bit wider, but you know what? I'm not mad about it. I think it's a perfect size and height, and then I might have to cut them down a bit. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to commit to those being here just yet. No, I'm going to use these in the areas that are thinner. Perhaps maybe one back here, or maybe want them inside. There's other pockets that are inside, so we'll worry about that at that time. For now, although these tags are pretty as they are, I do want to add some of my personal touches to them. So let us see. Let us see. All right. Pull that out. And I am not really one to kind of go full throttle on a kit. You know, I do like to incorporate other elements when I use someone's kit. And I don't know if that's something that anyone else has a problem with. I never, but, and let me just say this. I know that the people who I watch, who create digitals, they mix up their kits with other creatives' kits as well. So I don't think Miss ArtyMaze will have a problem with me using Tim Holtz, because that's who I'm getting ready to pull out right now. If I can remember. Okay, here we go. So I just tucked all of the pieces that I wanted to use in here. So that would be cute there. So these are the Tim Holtz pieces. So this might be cute. Something like, let's see. Oh, well, now that's cute. That deserves to go right around here. No, I think it was cute at the bottom. Right here, like so. I think I need to ink the turquoise's edges, or distress it a little bit. Or use scrap. Let me just see if I got a piece of scrap to go behind that. So we're not out of school. Let me go back to that point of reference. We're not out of school. Most of the country, they've went on ahead and closed the schools for the year. Again, because we are a virtual school and we are already set up to school at home. The school Josh belongs to, it's a virtual, a cyber academy. So the whole point of it is to school at home. That's the whole makeup of it. There we go. That's cute. So they're like, no, we're not closing your schools because you're perfectly fine doing exactly what you've been doing. This doesn't affect, this COVID crisis does not affect you in any way. So you'll stay doing what you've been doing. And I'm like, okay, well, I would much rather, if I'm being honest, Josh maintained a little bit of normalcy and have things to do. Because, you know, this isn't a time where they can hang out with friends. I strongly discourage anyone who is inclined to do that from doing that, because it could hurt our chances of recovering as quickly as possible. And so I don't want to be here. Don't get me wrong, I love my home. Love my home. There's no place else I'd rather be. But I don't want to be required to be here any longer than necessary. Now, I'd stay here throughout the year on my own without a problem, but I would like to, go to the beach, or, go to the park, to the grocery store, or hang out with friends, and not feel as though I'm compromising anyone else's safety or health. So for me and my home, we are doing nothing extra. We are not meeting up with friends. We are doing so virtually via webcam and any other social media tool that we can find. But as far as, there's just some sacrifices we have to make in order to ensure that we will have the freedom to come and go as we please, as we're accustomed to, sooner than later. Because right now, that's not where we're at. So it's going to take some sacrificing, and I know that's hard for some people, but we've got to make the sacrifice now, and so we can flatten the curve and enjoy our summer in peace and wherever we want to. My aunt has a wedding that's coming up in August, and I'm hoping that she doesn't experience, that's cute, isn't it? She doesn't have to either call it off or have to make some major drastic changes, because as it stands right now, she isn't, we've got quite a bit of family that's out of town. and myself included. So this would definitely hamper any time. I'm not driving 18 hours back to New York. I'm not. I can't do it. That I did it once to get down here. I will never do that again. I will not survive the drive. Okay. So that being said, and flights are no. And let me just say this. I'm a mom and I'm a wife, and I would love nothing more than to be out and about frolicking right along with anybody else. But I also take care of my dad, and while I may be willing to put my own life on the line for a little bit of freedom and fun, I also have to think about the risks that I put him at, whatever virus or germs or bacteria that I may be exposing him to, in an effort to remain social. So aside from just my family, my immediate family, I have to think of my dad. And because he has, he has had 2 heart attacks before the age of 45, because he is in his 60s, and because he is a diabetic, I have to take all those things into consideration, because it's not just my health that's on the line. So anyways, so we're staying put. We're staying put. Okay? And I hope y'all are too. So we can get back out into the crafts places and the thrift stores and have some hauls to do. Right now, I think even Amazon and places like that are concentrating on a lot on the essential things. So while they still have some things available, they're not really hiring and ramping up to provide services for some of the things that we buy on a day-to-day basis. Their focus is on making sure that everybody has what they need for where's I get some I think I have some laces. Do I have laces out here? Make sure everybody have what they need just to be at the house, be at home, safely. No, it's not in there. Where are my laces? Scrap laces, that is. Oh, there they go. Alright, I need some. This is just scrap laces, and my desk is a mess. I say that every time I get on here. Oh, isn't that adorable? I don't want to put it at the bottom because it's going to go inside of a pocket, so it'll have to be something really flat. That's pretty. That's pretty, but it's not white. That's fine. Yeah, that's cute. That is cute. Oh, even better. Let's see. How can I work this out? Should I go like that? Let us see. So yeah, I will not be going to the wedding if things don't get any better. I think I'm going to do that like that. But I'm one to just have things on a diagonal. I like things a little off center. This is going to get, I backed that with coffee dyed paper, by the way. I'm going to, what do I want to say? Sew that. I'm going to be putting some stitching on here. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was trying to say. Did y'all catch that? Did I make that clear enough? Oh, and so guess what I saw earlier today, guys? I saw one of my favorite creatives. I was watching a video of Liz from Liz for a Day, and she's back from her hiatus. I don't even know if she's been on a hiatus. I just know she ain't been on camera in the last couple of weeks. And this is not the time, Liz, to be, turning your back on your creative community. We need you. We need you. If you're watching, don't do that again. Woo! Like about had me driving down to Florida. I think she said she's in Florida. Anyways, but yeah, so she was doing some swatches on Rolodex cards. I don't have any Rolodex cards, and I probably won't be buying any anytime soon because I'm really fickle when it comes to the whole thrift store thing. Just my grandmother would call me nice nasty. Nice about some things and nasty about others. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, people, okay? Nah, and furthermore, I don't have a lot of space in my craft space. I don't have a lot of space. I'm gonna put that right there. That's cute. So I have to be mindful of even putting my mind around, wrapping my mind around something that might be something I'm interested in. Oh, I want to get this. Oh, I want to get that. And then I bring it home and I'm like, oh my gosh, where am I going to put this thing? Happens like all the time. All the time. And then I have to store it away and then forget that I even had it. So, no. I'm just going to enjoy watching her. I think she's putting together some organizational craft videos that are centered around craft organization. So with the Rolodex card, she was making swatches of some of the inks that she had just recently gotten in, which isn't a bad idea. I do have a swatch book that I keep in my drawer of the these inks right here, things that I just showed you. And I think I have one of some of my alcohol markers. So I do have a little system. It's probably not the best, but I don't have a whole lot of inks either. I'm not a mixed media artist. I do dabble a little bit here and there, but I'm not fully, thrust into it. One thing I would like to do is, besides cleaning up this ridiculous desk, you think I was here for 5 hours the way it's all thrown askew. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I wanted to do some stamping. That's what I wanted to do. And I need space for that. So let me put some of these die cuts away. Look at me going off on I need to stamp first. Yeah, I need to stamp first because then I can lay down the die cuts. But I wanted to show you those tags. So we did these cute, let me put this stuff away and then we can look at those tags. Bear with me, folks. Talk amongst yourselves. This shouldn't take very long, but I need a clean space. Because when I get done here, we've got to hop back into class mode and finish up the day because I don't want to be doing this this classwork all day or into the spring break. He's got a project that's due tomorrow, and I don't want to be doing it tomorrow. So that's the wonderful thing about the virtual academy, is that we do have some flexibility. Now, it doesn't mean that we can do what we want to do when we feel like doing it. It just means that we have some flexibility in how we, the time that we spend on some of the stuff. No, I'm going to take that off there. Let me see. Nothing's fine the way it is. All right, I might add to it later. But stitching is going to go on there too. I also have to keep that in mind because sometimes we add and then we add and we add and then we run through the stitching and it becomes a too much type of situation. So we don't want that. We don't want the too much situation going on. Just put that in there and keep it moving. Alright, and I'm compelled to keep that, but I'm going to throw it away because we are nearing the end of the composition of the project. But I typically keep all of my scraps until the end, okay? So now let's get on over into some stamping, and I think I showed you the stamps that I was using before. It's these two. What in the world? Oh, sorry guys. There's a little cord up here that is loose. Bear with me. All right, there we go. Everything straight? All right. Yeah. All right, so I've used this one, and it's, I want to stamp, no, I'm not going to stamp that again. Because this is what happened. Now, I did it on the front cover, but this is what I got. See that little, right there? And I don't feel like dealing with that today. not today. But we shall try this one. And I should have brought out my bigger block. I think this is the biggest block that I have. Well, let's use the sewing machine. We'll stamp twice in here somewhere. Using the Memento. I was going to use brown, but I'm deciding against it. Because I love a good contrast. I do. I love a good contrast. Alright, so we're using the Memento Tuxedo. Gosh, if you could see this desk, you would be like, girl, get your life together. And I will, real soon. Alright, let me put this back in the middle. Okay, so the first image can be, we'll put this, let's see what that looks like. I might have to do a one-off. Let's see. No, I can do, I better do that on a thicker one. We'll do that here. Because I don't know how thin this is, and I'm pretty certain it's going to go right through it. That's good. That looks good. What do you think? I do think so. Okay. Alright, and we'll find another place to put one more of those. And the back side, somewhere over here. No, that's not flat enough. There we go. Alright, let's do that on this side. Oh, very pretty. Alright, how do I have this? Was I like this? It was that. No. So like this and this? Yeah. Good gracious. Alright. And then let me do that on a piece of scrap. And then I'll just go in my ephemera box. That's a funny smelling stamp. And this is Lost and Found by My Mind's Eye. You guys saw that already. Well, here's a cute little button. I'm not going to keep y'all much longer, so hang tight. Just hang tight, my friend. Let's see, we're going to use the button stand. It looks like a button to me. Now, if it's not, forgive me. But I'm sure My Mind's Eye is not going to freak out if they hear me calling it a button. You know? Thank God that wasn't upside down. Could have very easily been. Let's see. Oh, my stomach is growling like I have not fed it. That'll be cute there. Let me slide it over. Right there. It says Mantic Linen. Mantic Linen Company. That's cute. All right, let me stamp that out one more time on here. A couple of those. All right, and so hope to be stitching this thing up next week and getting it off my desk, because I've got another journal that I want to start on. I've got one that I need to start on for myself. I think I've already talked about that, because I'm almost to the end of my journal, and I will show you guys that as I near it, the end of it. I'm almost there. Almost there. I have to put that on diagonal. Let's see what it's looking like. Why didn't that color go all the way through? What is up with that? Oh, it's just not going to do it. Alright. Can we... There we go. And do that like that. I probably should have did it the opposite way, like that. I'll do that like that on the opposite side. Alright. Yeah. Okay. I feel like date night should be coming up soon. But it's real difficult to have date night during a quarantine. Is anybody else feeling a little, I'm not going to stamp that out on my piece of paper. Is anyone else feeling, you know, neglected in the, not necessarily neglected, but I mean, I love my child, don't get me wrong, but my husband and I, we need a day or two where we can go to the restaurant, or, you know, take a walk on the beach or something, you know. Go to the movies. We haven't done it in quite some time. I don't think I have a block big enough for that. I don't think, yes I do. I don't know why I keep saying that. And I have a whole set. I just don't use it that often. That's the problem. Nobody's fault but my own. But anyways, yeah. Anybody else could go for a good date night? You know, and being adults, we are entitled to have a glass of wine with dinner, you know. You just don't, and not even, we don't even have to worry about getting taken advantage of. I can't use that in here. It's too wide. Yeah, I should have thought about that. You know what? I could banner it on the side, and I think I will go. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Not on this page though. Maybe on this. Nope, not that one. Not on that one. Oh, I might not be able to eat. Well, you know what? I could use it on this one. Let me open this up. Alright, I hear you. Ty, you want me to let you go. I'm almost done, folks. If you love me, you'll stay. Talk about manipulations. Alright, so work with me, people. Work with me. Not you. You're actually talking to paper. Alright, we're almost there. Let's see. Yay, I did it. And if, look, you see what I'm talking about? That's ridiculous. Ooh, it's cute. Alright, so actually I'm going to bolt, and see it did come through on that side, but that's okay because this is going to be a pocket stitched in place. So, and then this goes back here. Alright, and then we put this in here, and I'm going to finish a little bit more stamping off camera, so that you guys can go on about your merry little way and enjoy the rest of your day. Now, if you're new to the channel and you have not already hit that subscribe button and you're still here, you probably need to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you're not new to the channel and you haven't hit the subscribe button, what are you waiting on? This thing, the button is free. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to charge you. Although if I could, I would. I'm just kidding. I craft for free. Will craft for food. Okay? Alright, so I hope this has inspired you to move forward with your journals, or to maybe pull out some supplies and start putting together a journal for somebody in your neck of the woods, you know, creative, or someone who, you know, whatever type of journal you want to. But I hope this has inspired you to move forward. Go pull out something and create something. The world needs your creations, people. You know? That's what inspires us. Creativity. So, now that I've made a complete and utter mess of my workspace and my crafting space, I want to bid you farewell, but before we go, I just want to encourage you to stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative, and crafty. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.